Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Work at Home Rockstar podcast. Very excited for today's guests. We have two of them today. This is a special episode. And we have Christine and Elizabeth of the WALT Institute, and they're both co-founders and they're leadership coaches. So I'm very excited. They give people tools to be successful. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But first, are you guys ready to rock?
Absolutely. Ready to rock, always. Woo!
Perfect. So we always start off on a good note. So tell me a story of success in your business.
Okay, story of success. I think probably finding our niche within our business and recognizing the people that we are actually targeting and having the people around us to help us define that. And so we always have coaches and mentors in our team. I've got 3 coaches actually at the moment for different things. and the beauty around that is that we can really hone and laser focus what we do and who we're actually targeting so that we can bring the best of ourselves to our leadership coaching and we can get the most change out of the people that we work with. That part is just is awesome. And that's developed over time. There's been some ups and downs. It's not always high notes. However, the getting to the stage where it's like, this is my mission. This is my meaning beyond self. This is why I'm on this planet and nothing's going to stop me. Getting to that moment, which we've been doing over the last few years, getting to that moment, I think has been pivotal for being one of the most highest notes, I think, in our business and in our careers.
Yeah, I think I call it the zone in music, getting in the zone or in a groove for sure. So that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it is magical when you finally find something that you're really clicking on, right? And you get to experience the results of your clients as well that are getting great results from that too, right?
Yeah. And that's what we're finding at the moment too, is that initially when we came on the scene, people were like, oh, who are you? You guys doing things differently. Who do you think you are coming into this environment? And then when we have been able to go, okay, right, here's the people we want to work with. Let's just hone it down, and get really specific with who we want to work with. And then there was a bit of a lull. And then honestly, coming out of the woodwork, we get people who are like, oh my gosh, you are the person that we want to work with. And then someone else will pop up and they will go, can I do your course? I was like, where the hell did you come from? You know, and it's just these things of now that we've got really specific and really purposeful, I think, of what we're doing and how we're doing it. Now these people are responding to it because it's really connecting for them to go, that's exactly what I want. And now that it is being in flow. I mean, like my background sport. So yeah, being in flow, being in the zone is the ultimate, and it makes life easy. It's just easier the whole way through. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you know, I like that you're doing things differently because, you know, there's something for everybody. I mean, that's, you know, I get that quite often especially when we're talking about coaching and, you know, finding mentors and stuff, because, you know, not everybody resonates with everybody. So, you know, you really do need a lot of different people doing things a lot of different ways in order to find that right connection for, you know, for people. So you guys probably just hit on a huge niche of people that were looking for you, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think the beauty about that is we had to learn that you either attract or repel.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because you don't want to work with those people that you are on the fence or sort of not very bought into what you're doing, because they won't get the results. So it's a waste of their money, it's a waste of their time, and it's a waste of your energy and everything else that you're putting into it, because you're not really a good match. So that's one of the lessons we've learned absolutely as well. It's like attract or repel and be okay with that. It's not personal. It's like you either come to our message and attracted by what we do and the way we speak and the evidence-based of positive psychology that we teach and preach and and actually give you strategies around, or you don't, and that's absolutely fine.
Yep, absolutely. So now, you know, on the journey, you know, you guys have probably been doing this long enough to hit a couple bad notes from time to time. I mean, you know, it's natural, and that's why I like to focus on it like real quick, just to make sure that people understand that, you know what, if you're going through some tough times right now, don't worry about that. That's fine. Everybody makes mistakes. And now, you know, you can always move on from that. So I'm wondering, can you share with us a bad note, something that just did not go right? And maybe you can even help us with, you know, maybe how to recover from it or avoid it if it, you know, if we're kind of heading down that path as well.
Absolutely.
I think a couple of the things that for us that have gone, oh shit, is we expected things to take off really quickly. And we were like, we've got everything in place, but I've got this and I've got that, and we've got our structures, and this is who we're working with. And at that point, we still weren't so pinpointed or had our real niche. And so we were like, but we're good at what we do, and why are these people not coming? Why are they not buying into our programs? And so it was sort of like, oh shit. And, you know, bank balances going down, lots and lots of effort and output happening. And then we just got really despondent. And it was that thing of like, oh shit, what are we doing? And there was this real sense of like, have we done the right thing? Because maybe we should just go and get a job and like go to the office and get paid by someone else instead of doing our stuff here. And at that point, it was that real sort of thing of going, why are we doing this? And it was having that big question with ourselves is to go, okay, hang on a minute, what's going on? And it wasn't about us kind of thing. It was that thing to go, okay, what's happening out there? And to actually look at the bigger picture, and for us to sit at that point and go, okay, cool, not a lot in the bank, okay, we need to sort that out. And to go, we need more money. It's like, how do we get more money? What can we do? And then the thing for us was like, who do we need to be for that to happen? And then so we had to actually pivot and change ourselves as to, you know, we didn't have a personality disorder or transplant or anything like that, but it was that point of going, okay, if we bring our best selves to this, people are going to see that and they're going to be attracted to it, and then they're going to know, and they'll get the full understanding of what it is that we're all about. And so it was, I mean, it was quite a wee while of we just thought, you know, it'll happen real quick. We're doing everything that we need to be doing and it will take off, but it didn't. And for us, it was to step back, have a look at the bigger picture and go, okay, what else is going on out there? And go, cool, call it as is. So shit was shit. Have a look at who we were being as well, and then actually practice what we preach, which is about being able to bounce forward. And that's that whole thing of taking ourselves, not just bouncing back, but being able to bounce forward to a new thinking pattern, being able to, you know, different behaviors, different way of actioning things, and just looking at who we needed to be for that to happen out there instead of getting stuck back in the crap.
And I think a little quick hack is 3 different things. The first thing is that you have to pause, because otherwise you get in this spin and you just keep on spinning and spinning and spinning. So you have to have a pause. And music is like that as well. You can't all play all loud all the time unless it's heavy metal. You've got to have the highs and lows. You've got to have the texture, the tonality. You've got to have the contrast. You've got to have the fabric that's different. And so the first thing you need to do is actually have a pause, push the pause button.
Yeah.
The next thing is to call it as is, like Christine said. I was like, oh, this is super big, or this is actually quite small and I'm making it big, or I need to stop ignoring this. So call it as is and be really real. And then the third step is to take action consistently.
Yep.
And so when we put those 3 things in place, no matter what we're facing, no matter what adversity is in front of us, those 3 things are really good strategies that keep us going forward.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, especially with the pause, because when you are, I don't know if you've ever learned, I think you mentioned that you did learn an instrument. So when you're learning, you get to a point where you're trying something and you just can't get it, but you're so close. And I've always found that if you take a break, I mean, you could even sleep on it, or maybe you go out and do something else, you come back, you pick up the guitar, and all of a sudden it just comes out. And you're like, what? Like, how come I couldn't do that a minute ago? But I think that's probably very similar in any business, right? I mean, if you're just beating at it and it's just not coming out, something's happening. And then you take a break, you come back to it, I guess, with fresh eyes or fresh mind or whatever it is. And next thing you know, it just kind of rolls out of you. So, I think that is very good advice, to take a pause, take a step back, because, like you say, you're just going to get frustrated if you keep on beating at it, right?
Yeah. And when you're in that sort of vortex, you're so attached to the result. And when you take your hands off the result and go, that is the result I want, but I'm going to take my hands off, walk away, go and stand outside, go and ring a friend, go and make a cup of tea or coffee, do whatever, have that pause. And then you come back and it was like, this is what I need to do. Because you've disrupted that repeat pattern and that vortex spiraling that you get into.
Yeah, exactly. You're making it too hard. You're making it too
Yeah,
complicated.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
because you can't get it, it just kind of like ends up, yeah, like you say, like a spiral. Like I just can't get it. My fingers just won't do that. It's just,
Yes.
and then it's just not working. And then you walk away, you come back, and your fingers just do it, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was so easy. Why
Yeah,
didn't I do that before? This is
yeah,
my
yeah.
last 3 hours of frustration.
Well, and I know in my practicing, I do that now. I'll take small bursts
Yes.
of trying to learn something. You know, just do something and then change songs, go do another song, try to learn that, and then come
Yeah.
back to that first one again, and it tends to work out well. I also do
Yeah.
it in my rehearsals for band. Let's just go through the song once, and then another song, and then another song, instead of just hammering that same song. It's just
Yeah.
it doesn't work very
Yeah.
well when you're doing that way. So good. I'm glad you guys came up with a 3-step procedure.
A 3-step procedure. That's what we like to do.
We
Make
like
it
to
simple.
we like to make it simple, and we like to make things. I mean, it's all the stuff we take our clients through too. Is that we want to keep it really simple, really easy to do. And when people talk about being time poor, which I don't believe in, but people talk about time poor, or they talk about being busy or rushed or whatever, it's like, you know, we've all got 20 seconds, we've all got 2 minutes for ourselves that we can spare to be able to pull back or stop, do whatever, and then head on back in there and carry on with it.
Yeah, right. So now speaking of practicing, so I used to say practice makes perfect, but I don't like perfect anymore. I think practice makes progress, right?
Yes.
You know, and progress is what kind of keeps you moving too. I find that once you hit your goal, all of a sudden it's no longer exciting anymore. I like going towards something. So now, what about you guys? So do you have any tips that you can give us on how to get good at what it is we do?
Yes, absolutely. So agency is part of authentic leadership, which is about taking action consistently. And so we train our people around this, that they're often sort of those people, like we all do when we're looking at different sorts of change or doing things differently. We do it 2 or 3 or 4 times and then go, oh, it didn't really work. So then we find the next shiny object and go, oh, let's go this. Or if you're a musician, it's like, you know, I actually play quite a number of instruments. And it was like, oh, I'm tired of playing the clarinet. Let's play the flute. Oh, let's play the piano. let's learn the guitar. It was like, next shiny object. And so we can do this in our businesses as well as our lives. And it's really important to think about, what am I doing consistently? And how am I retraining my mindset around the BS? And BS in our world, it means 3 things. So it's the blind spot that we don't know for ourselves, our belief systems, and also the bullshit that we tell ourselves, that we put up with, that we accept, going, oh, but I can't do this, oh, I can't do that, oh, it's too hard, oh, I don't know how to do this, I haven't got the right resources, I don't have the right people in my lives, I don't have the right information. And all of this is just total BS that stops us from pursuing where we're going to go. And so really important to keep taking action on that consistently. So practice makes progress.
Yeah.
Even if you catch that thought of going, oh, I'm not good at this, catch that thought, reframe it. I'm getting better at this, or I'm learning how to master this. Absolutely. You have to do that as a magician. You have to do that as a business person, because otherwise you just can't get anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be better than you were yesterday or 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Keep on moving forward. Good. So now, you know, in order to be, I guess I heard once that they said, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with other people. And so, you know, in music, I mean, if I want to be a one-man band, I can only get so far. You know, after a while, you're going to want to kind of put yourself around some people that can help you in your journey. And so I'm wondering, what about you guys? What does your band look like? And, you know, how would you, you know, what advice would you give us on how we should form our bands?
Yes.
What I usually do is really interesting, because you're using all this, like the music analogies. For me, I always use sport analogies. So team, band, same thing. Like, it's really important to be exactly that, to be successful and to get further, to get success, to be able to get momentum. It's always better with other people around you. And it's not to have same. It's to have different people with different strengths, so that they all bring their strengths, they all bring the best out of themselves. And as a team or as a band, that's a mission for us in our organization, to go, how can we get the best out of that person? And so we like to have a flatter hierarchy. We don't like that vertical hierarchy because that's usually power over people. And we like people to bring their power and their strengths to the game, or, you know, to the concert kind of thing. And so it's that sort of thing, is to go, when I'm being my best self, and yep, sure, my title says CEO. However, I don't run everything, because our marketing guys, I can't do their jobs and they can't do my job. So I allow them to be their best self. They deliver the best that they have, which is pretty freaking awesome. And then, you know, like, we get excited. It's like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Shit, that stuff's really cool. You guys rock. And then we're like, oh, we need to up our game as well. Now we need to give more. And so we all bring each other up, and having that ability to have, like, we have, you know, regular team meetings. We have like an open chat within WhatsApp and on other platforms, so that we've got ways of communicating really quickly with each other. So, you know, being at home, you don't have that sort of incidental walking past people, or, you know, meeting in the lunchroom or that kind of stuff. So it's that thing to be able to pick up the phone and go bang, bang, bang on a platform, and then they'll respond back to us. So we have that kind of chat, which allows us to have that sense of being together in a team. We bring each other up, you know, when we have our meetings, we do it on Zoom so that we can see each other. And we connect on all those different levels. And then it's that thing to go, okay, cool. What's the vision for WALT Institute? And as a band or as a team, it's that thing to go, this is my vision and my intention. Okay, cool. Some of that, I need to set that aside, because this is what I'm going to bring forward and put towards what we do as a whole band. And I think that's being able to sacrifice a little bit of our own personal stuff that we want to do, for the sense of, you know, a band to be able to perform at its best takes everybody to be on the same level, and takes everybody to be in that piece of music at the same time, feeling it, sensing it, and having that real connection with each other, and that real connection with what you're doing at that time too. You know, I mean, it's that thing of, when you got a team that's in flow or in the zone, it's going to be the best ever.
Magic happens.
Yeah,
absolute magic happens. And I think the cool thing about that as well is we've learned to set up our team that it's okay to make mistakes. That you make a mistake, you own it, and you go, how can we fix it? And you just leap straight on there. So there's no blame, there's no shame, there's no judgment. And what that has done it has flattened the hierarchy of our team beautifully. And they say, oh, you guys, this is so cool to work for. We've never worked for anybody like you ever before. And it was like, because it's team-based. I mean, Christine's a former elite athlete from New Zealand. And it's like, you cannot go forward, like you say, without having that team. And it's like, we want to make sure that our roles, we bring the best of ourselves. And so we've had people in our team go, well, that's not good enough, Christine. This needs to happen. And I was like, oh, okay. You're telling the CEO or the director of the organisation. And I love that, because it's like everybody has respects. We respect each other. We trust each other, and we bring our best selves to the whole mission of WALT Institute. And I just love that.
Right on.
And I think the home, you know, like working from home, sometimes people go, oh, but I don't have a team. Well, you do, because, I mean, our teams are, you know, we have
around the world.
They're all around the world. So they're our team. We don't just go, oh, that person is who I send this to get that done. It's like, no, they're part of our team, and we've made it that way to say, you know, everybody that we get involved in anything that we do works with us. They're part of WALT Institute. We don't just say, oh, we fling it off to that person to get done, and that person does that bit of work for us, and they're just a VA or whatever. It's like, they're actually our employees. And then to do that is to say, then we have a stronger connection with them, because we're creating that team culture. And to create a team culture for me is the number one thing. I mean, you can, you know, be short on other things, but once you've got that group of people together, things can happen that you just wouldn't even expect to happen.
Yeah. And I like that you are, especially when we're now, a lot more people are working from home, you've got to be more intentional about those meetings, because you're right. I mean, you don't run across somebody at a and for me, I used to be coffee shops. I used to spend a lot of
Yeah.
time at coffee shops, and
Same. That was the hardest thing with lockdown, that I found, that lack of connection with
Yeah.
others. And so we had to create that intentionally.
Yep.
So we created it intentionally with our team. We created it intentionally with our clients and our group projects and the free things that we give away, the free masterclasses that we do, and we create that connection, because otherwise you just get more and more isolated.
Yeah. And I like what you said about giving your team, they're like, no mistakes. Like it's okay to make mistakes, all that kind of stuff. Because I think that it just means you have to do a little bit more work up front to make sure you have the right people in the right roles.
Yes.
But once you have the right people in the right roles, then everybody's going to make mistakes from time to time. Like, whatever. It's pretty unlikely that they did it on purpose. So what's the point, right? Let it go. Let's move forward. Let's figure out how to fix it, and maybe put some systems together in order for it to not happen again. But really, when it comes down to it, I like that philosophy, and I think that it is really important, because people will do more for you if they feel like they're respected in those ways, and they feel like they can make mistakes. They will take those risks, and we all know from business that sometimes taking the risks are the best things in the world.
It is.
Yeah, because you can't be innovative and creative without putting your neck out and taking a risk. And we cannot control what's out there. We can only control what we do. And it's like, make a mistake.
It's cool.
Admit it. Move on. What can we do? How can we fix it? And that's just an absolute entrenched philosophy in our company. And we know that some of the most effective companies around the world have this philosophy as well. And so that's where we're modeling from, and we also model it to our team. So it's like, shit, I messed up. I was like, sorry team, okay, how can we fix this? This is a really big mistake. That's mine. I'll take that on my shoulders. What can we do to fix it? And so we just instantly go into, what can we do to fix it? How can we do damage control? How can we then make sure it doesn't happen next time this way?
Yeah. And I don't know if it's ironic or coincidental, but that tends to be a good team builder as well. When you're trying to fix a problem, when you've got a fire going on, and now everybody's working together to try to fix it, right?
Exactly.
Of course, you don't do it on purpose, right?
We all want to solve problems. So it's like what bigger purpose is there when something's going wrong? And it's like, oh shit, we all need to get in there and help. Okay, cool, let's do that. And it's really cool, because you kind of see little bits of people that you wouldn't usually see, to see what they're like under pressure, or to go, oh, made a mistake, oopsies. And I usually just take the personal laugh about it. And then everybody's like, oh, okay, cool, it's not that bad, fine, when it's like pretty big. But it's that kind of thing, to go, if we just get in there and have fun sorting it out, then hey, whatever, it's fine.
Yep, absolutely. So now we can try to figure everything out on our own if we want to. However, it's often a little bit easier if you find somebody else who's done it, and you maybe go take a course, or go find a mentor or a coach, something like that. And I'm wondering, like, what about you guys? Like, do you guys participate in things like masterminds, or do you have mentors, coaches? Like, what do you guys do?
We do. We've each got a mindset personal development coach, and so we actually have one of the top. She's actually a top business coach with Tony Robbins. So, she is the top business coach. So we have her separately for individual coaching.
She's from Canada.
She is from Canada,
initially.
She's pretty freaking awesome too.
Nice.
And of course. And we also have business mentors. So we've been with them, and it's that thing of investing in it too. It's not like we just find these free courses and go, oh, I'm going to do that. It's part of that thing of, what you pay for, you pay attention to as well. And so we've got personal development coach each. We've got business mentors so they're our coaches as well, and we jump in their programs and do work with them. And then we've also got mentors who sort of are in STEM, so science, technology, engineering, math, and medicine. And Paul, he's an AO, he's a professor, he's known all around the world within STEM. And his partner, she's also a top training and coaching leadership person from here in Melbourne. And so we sort of have all these different areas for us that help us get connected with the right people in STEM, that help us to grow our business and do the businessy side of things. And then we're also growing and developing ourselves.
Yeah. Because we learned that, like you said, we did it on our own and our bank account suffered.
Yep.
We made dumb decisions.
Dumb.
We took so long to tweak and change things. We didn't really know what we were doing. We're very good at learning. We've both got oodles of degrees and all the rest of it. So we're very good at learning. However, that wasn't enough. And it was like we needed to have somebody who'd been there before who goes, do this, don't do that. And particularly our business coaches who are from Silicon Valley, but they're based in Queensland at the moment. They go, we're testing this. Here you go, here's the model, do it. And so they test things for 3 and 6 months. We get it today, we implement it tomorrow, and we've got the results in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And how freaking cool is that? That's
really cool.
why we invest in people like that. It's like we would never do this without having people that keep us on the right pathway. They hook in with us, find out how we're doing with our mindset, as well as what are your deliverables? Where is this? Have you done this? Do this. Here's the system. Put this in place. This will happen. It's awesome. It's so cool.
Isn't that great? And you speak to some of the most successful people in the world, and they all have coaches. They all have. It's one of those things that I just find is I don't know, that for the average person, they're not really interested in getting help from other people, it seems, and I don't really understand it. And maybe if they did decide to start a business, then they would get a coach, because I think they would eventually have to. And, I've invested in several different coaches and programs as well, and it's just I always found it really fascinating that sometimes I just have to pay for the course, and I haven't even taken the course yet, and all of a sudden my business starts to go in the right direction. So maybe it's just the intention of going towards what you want, or
absolutely, because you're committed. It's like when you pay attention. And so when you actually when you declare something, I'm going to invest in myself or my business or both for this purpose. And when you make that decision, you get your credit card out, or you do your bank transfer, or whatever you do, it's like you've declared to the powers that be, to the universe, to the whatever. That's like you've declared, this is where I'm going. Nothing's going to stop me. And so again, it comes back to that consistent action and that agency, that it's like, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm going to do. And the picture that flipped me, image that flipped me into investing in coaches, because we invest shit tons over the last 5 years. We've invested shit tons, and we are where we are because of that. And the picture that I love is that thing of the person out the front is the coach, and they've got all these arrows in the back, and they take all the arrows because they've done all the trial and errors. They've done all the tasks of going, oh, this didn't work, crap, let's make that mistake, let's go over here, let's pivot over here, let's shift over here, does this work? Oh yeah. So they've done all the trial and error, they've done all the hard yards, and I get to go, hey, look, here's a footprint, walk. No arrows in the back, reduced timelines, and it's like win.
You may still get an arrow or two, but
you do in different ways.
Exactly. So now, how would you suggest someone go about finding a coach that's good for them?
Obviously find us. Is the thing to work out is to go, where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? What is the real key thing? And it's not always about the whole business side of stuff. It's easy to find the processes, the systems, the frameworks. But if we ourselves, I always use the analogy, if we've got us as an individual and we put all these processes and systems on us and go, oh, I need this process, oh, I need the system. It's like, if that person is not confident, if they're not very good at having courageous conversations, if they're not very good at working out their objectives and what they want to do and where they want to go and all that, none of these processes, systems, frameworks are going to work. So it's the first place to work is on ourselves. And so the thing that we always identify is to find the thing about you, start growing and developing you as a person first, and then your business. We've got one of our clients at the moment. She goes, I came in here to get this leadership stuff for my career, and now I find I'm working on myself, which I didn't think I was going to be doing, but I'm getting all this new stuff for myself, and I'm feeling amazing and feeling happy, and everything's just so easy. And my career's just taking care of itself on the side. She goes, I don't have to do anything, and it's just taking off.
Yeah.
So it's that thing is to jump in and work on ourselves. And that's why we identify it as authentic leadership, because it's about ourselves first and then leading other people. And that's our key sort of focus, really.
Yeah.
And I think I think we also do lots of reading. So we do lots of reading, lots of watching podcasts, listening to podcasts, watching video clips, finding out who we resonate with. So it goes back to that attract repel thing again. We, in the days when you could go to free seminars and workshops and things like that, when people toured the country, it was like we would go to things and go, we're going to check this person out. How do they actually respond to people? How do they connect? Can we ask them a question? What happens? Do we feel right? We trust our inner wisdom and our intuition as well. And I think in business, you need to do that as well. Yeah. It can't just be all intellectual and logic. No. It has to be how you feel about certain things.
Yeah.
And that has to be balanced. That the head and heart has to be balanced. And within that is like, this person's really good. I mean, our business mentors now, that's been a nearly 5-year journey. Yeah. So we went to his, Jeffrey Slater, we went to his free workshop. Christine went to his free workshop for about 2 or 3 hours.
Daytime
one. You went to the daytime one, that's right.
Yeah.
And you went, this guy's amazing. We have to go back for the night session. It was like, oh, okay. I was doing something else in the day. Went back at the night session. It was like, oh my gosh, this is the person we need to help us with our business. We had a chat to him. At that moment, we were in the middle of not very good financial status because we were doing it on our own and some health challenges for some of us. And it was like, we had a chat with him and it was like, we want to work with you.
Yeah.
However, at this moment, it's not a good time. And so I put it on my vision board. It was like, we're going to work with Jeff and he's going to be our coach, our business coach at some stage. 2.5 years later, we signed up to his first program.
Wow.
And 2 years later, we're still in it. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you. Right on. Yeah, I know. I love everything you just said. That was it's amazing, Doug, because you can find information, you can find ways to do things. That's that's one thing, but I do think, half the battle in coaching is really the accountability aspect of it, and having somebody that you have to now go and tell that you didn't do what you just told them you were going to do, right? That's a big deal, right? Whereas before, you take an online course or whatever it is, you can learn everything you need to do there. And I can even watch somebody in a concert and watch them play whatever it is they need to play, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go and learn it. I need to actually spend that time. And, oftentimes having somebody that you're accountable to is what's really going to get you over that hump.
Yeah.
So it's time for your guest solo. What's exciting in your business right now?
What's exciting in our business right now? There's lots of exciting. The exciting thing is that there's lots of stuff happening for us, which is pretty cool. So we've got, at the moment we're sitting in this awesome little posse of obviously awesome podcast. We've got, webinar coming up. We've got group programs. One's just finishing, another one's about to start. We've got coming up as well as our Supercharger Leadership program, which is with corporates. And then we've got a retreat coming up. So we've got 5 days away in this awesome, amazing place with some of our clients. So we've got all these cool, exciting, amazing things. And it's all come together because we're able to do everything online. And so as much as we're saying we work from home, it's that thing of being able to now go, there's a little bit of room for us to start getting out and about here in Melbourne at the moment. And so it's allowing us to start now going, hey, cool, we could actually get this face-to-face stuff happening. Yeah. And so we can still do stuff online with the webinars and the group coaching and our, stuff that's coming up as well. But it also allows us to do the stuff with corporates. It allows us to go away and take retreats with people in that face-to-face situation.
And the other exciting thing is that our mission was always to go global, to create a global community of authentic leaders in STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, and medicine. And we're doing that. This was a mission that we had 2.5 years ago, that we're going international, and we're doing that. Yep. And so that's super exciting, because when you've got your laser focused vision and you keep working towards it and you keep being passionate about it and you keep going, I'm going to bounce forward even though today's a shit day. I'm not going to give up because I know this is where I need to go. And you just keep on going, keep on going, taking that consistent action and practicing and making progress every single moment of the time. It's like, it's awesome. You will reap the rewards, and you will find the excitement on the other side when you're aligned with where you're going.
Exactly.
Right on. So now, let's just say I signed up to one of your programs. What would I expect to get out of them?
Cool.
Awesomeness.
Okay. What you expect to get out of them, depending which program you connect with, you get a community of like-minded people who support you and help you grow and develop. So it's not just all about us.
No.
You get our expertise and our coaching and training around mindset, around resilience, around how to manage stress better, around how to create mental toughness for anything that you do, as well as some technical stuff like running effective meetings, courageous conversations, doing performance appraisal stuff, all that stuff. And you get to experience and recognize who you really are inside and the strengths that you have within, that you have either never recognized or you've covered up, or you're not quite sure what the world's going to say if you come out and talk about who you are and shine who you are and your strengths and your abilities and talents with whatever business that is. And so we empower people to do that with strength and courage and confidence.
Right on. So how do we find out more?
You find out more by finding us pretty much all of our handles on social media at WALT Institute. And you can also find us on our website, which is www.waltinstitute.com. And you'll find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Insta, YouTube, all of those cool things.
So you're easy to find then.
We're easy to find. The coolest thing on in our website is you can actually go in there and because our whole thing is about adding value and wanting to be there and provide people with, to begin with the information to look at things, is they can jump into our website and then they can find that we've got some free ebooks as well. And so that's just right on the front page of our website, is you can go in there and you can get yourself, we've got 4 different ebooks that are sitting in there, anything from about authentic leadership, science of happiness, willpower and managing stress, and also boosting resilience. So they're all sitting in there for people to jump in and have some fun with.
Look at that. That's great. So we can go there. We can get a feel for what we're going to get out of these programs, right? That's awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for rocking out with me today. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you, Tim. It's been very cool. I love your spin on it.
That's awesome.
Thanks. And to the rock stars listening, make sure you subscribe, rate, and comment. We'll see you next time with the Work at Home Rockstar podcast.